Hello! Today we're checking out something that goes in your car. And you're probably wondering, why am I doing this instead of an FPV review? And I used to be very strict on only doing things which is either RC or FPV, but as I've carried on, I've decided that if I find something interesting or fun or useful, I'll stick it on this channel as a review. And this is something potentially fun, interesting and useful. This is called the Carpuride or Carpuride, and it's called the W708. And the idea of this, it's a 7-inch IPS touchscreen that goes in your car, connects up to your car stereo and stuff, and provides functions from your phone. Now, if you've got an up-to-date car, your stuff probably does this already. If you've got a slightly older one, it doesn't so much. And whereas in the olden days, we used to sort of, we had the car stereo and we used to rip that out and put in better ones and replace speakers and stuff. The idea of this, it's more of a non-invasive thing. You just hook it up, it can broadcast in FM, so you don't even have to get a lead to your stereo, and it's like a 5-minute install, so that'd be interesting to check out. Let's go to close up first and have a look what's in the actual box. Okay, so here's the box, tells you a bit of blurb about it. 7-inch IPS touchscreen, Bluetooth, USB or TF audio, which means the little SD card, voice controls, USB charge port. It will basically charge your phone from plugging it in, which is quite handy. Obviously we need to power this from the car. Normally that's through the sort of 12 volt. It used to be called the cigarette lighter port, but probably not so much now. Anyway, taking this out of the bag, this is the main unit. It's got some controls there, power button at the top, reset switch, and then we've got 12 volt in, USB, AV out, cam in, TF card or micro SD card, and mic. If you wonder what the cam in is for, this actually sports a reversing camera as well, so if you haven't got one of those, you can obviously put one in. Got a bunch of bags. I just emptied that one out. We got the all important instructions to go through, a sticky pad, presumably to depending how you're going to mount this, you can stick it on. I think most of these are then mounting things. We've got this thing that looks like it goes on the dash. That's a sticky pad for the windscreen. We've got an audio cable, a 3.5mm jack, and this is how we give it the power. So you will need a car, obviously, with a 12 volt output like this. As I said, it used to be called the cigarette lighter port. Now they mainly just say 12 volts on them. But okay, I'm going to have a quick look at this. Then I'm going to think about how it goes on and try and put this in the car and see how it all hooks up. The idea is, I think you can either drive this, like if you've got music on your SD card or movies, you can play that, or you can mirror your screen from your iPhone or Android phone, or of course you can beam stuff through Bluetooth, for example. Hopefully, if you've got something like Spotify, you can push that to here, and then that can broadcast that to your stereo or out of the jack lead, depending how you hook it up. So various options. I'm going to go through the manual and decide what to do. Okay, we've got it. Let's get in the car and check it out. Okay, we're in the car. The car's fans come on, and let's install. Okay. I think we may have to use a different car, as this one's kind of got its own display and music and stuff. So let's try again. So this is my daughter's car. I don't think she'll mind if I have a play of this in there. Let's go inside and check it out. So this is my daughter's car. It's a Ford KA or Ka, and it's a bit more basic. If we look at the stereo here, it's pretty basic. It's a radio, it's a CD player, although back in my day we had tape. I'm sure you guys remember that. And thinking about where to put it, it's probably going to go here to where her phone would normally be, but I think for today we're just going to put it so we've got it coming down here, maybe over the top, so we can easily see it. She did have this little stereo input down here, but that didn't work very well. Unfortunately, she's got the 12 volt supply, so we'll get the mount and we'll see if this can be installed in 5 minutes. Okay, so we've just started up the car and we've literally plugged in the 12 volt socket and popped the thing on the screen, and it's come up straight away. All is good. We've got hold of Sophie, and what we've done, we've connected in with the cable. We did test this out using wireless and Bluetooth. We've actually got it connected to Sophie's phone because, like all teenagers, her phone is on 1% charge at any one time. Now, it works absolutely brilliantly with things like Spotify. So we just go over to iPlay, and from here we've got all the normal apps and stuff on Sophie's phone. It's freaking her out that it reads out WhatsApp and text messages and asks her if she wants to reply. So if we go to Spotify. So we listened to a couple of tracks on Sophie's Spotify list, but we had a problem here that we figured, oh, we're going to fall foul of YouTube copyright thing and get claimed on them. So we really can't play you the sound about what actually happened. Although Sophie has some great music there, we can't show it on YouTube. So we went out and I put a couple of tracks from the classic YouTube media library, and it sounds like this. So what we've got we've got it coming through, transmitting on FM, going into Sophie's radio there, which works really well actually. There's no hissing or fuzzing or anything. And you've got a variety of FM stations you can tune to. We've tuned to 87.5 because there's nothing else on it, and it seems good. And the EQ's not bad actually. You can do a bit with that. Different types of sounds to do different things. I should also point out that the unit has its own speaker, but it's pretty horribly tinny, and I wouldn't suggest using it for anything. And just in way of direct comparison, this is it coming back out of the radio. So the YouTube music is still going strong, and my goodness, this is awful. And we've got mostly the reflection of me, the sat nav going on here telling us where we are. Sophie, how are you finding it? Is it obscuring your view at all?
No, it's not.
Can you see it okay?
Yes, but I think looking there is much more convenient.
Okay, so we might need to remount it over the other side of the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Damn you.
Head east on Leafy Lane, then turn right onto Bleriot Crescent.
Sorry?
Bleriot Crescent.
Bleriot Crescent, okay.
We do actually know where we're going, but we decided just to put
right
it in nav mode
Crescent,
so
then
we could
turn left onto Barder Way.
so we could hear it giving the nav information mixed in with the awful YouTube library. Sophie, are you able to hear the nav information correctly?
No.
No, isn't it loud enough?
The rap is kind of... Oh!
Turn left onto Barder Way, then at the roundabout,
Okay.
take the second exit onto
hear
Whiteley
that.
Lane.
Good.
Give me a crown! What's going on?
We can confirm that the nav information is good enough. And the screen is pretty good. Unfortunately, filming at the angle I'm at does make it reflect a lot more than in real life. Oh. It's also surviving the speed bumps quite well. To say we've got a suction one here and we've got it just easily mounted.
Oh, there it is.
So would you touch it?
Touch it, yep.
Dad said check WhatsApp. Hello-y. And hello, Sophie. Would you like to reply?
No.
Okay.
What do you mean no?
I'm not replying to you.
So, thanks. So text messages come through, and if we try a WhatsApp.
Dad sent an image. Said photo hi. And you, is this working okay? Would you like to reply?
No.
Reply!
Would you like to reply?
Yes.
What do you want to say to Dad?
Please leave me alone.
Your WhatsApp message says, please leave me alone. Do you want to change it or send it?
Send it.
It's sent.
Well, that's just mean.
Hello?
Hello,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you okay.
I can hear you okay.
Wow, that must mean it works.
Yay!
Shall I try it on WhatsApp?
Yeah, go for it. Hello.
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 I can see your mouth moving. It's like badly dubbed.
Yeah, yours is badly dubbed as well.
Okay. Tell me why Dad is spelled with 15 million A's.
I can't really answer that.
I think what we like best is using iPlay, which is the way that the phone connects directly and you can kind of use it. You can use AirPlay, but it doesn't seem as good. iPlay basically gives you all your regular sort of apps and stuff, or the ones it supports at least, on the screen, and you can see what's going on, and you've got the whole conversation list of your messages and WhatsApps, and you can use the phone normally. Yeah, and the music through Spotify or regular music, so that's really good. And obviously you've got the sat nav there if you want it, and you can use that as normal, and it all mixes in nicely. And the FM thing works really well. We could actually plug this in, but I don't think there's any need. Do you think so?
Can you mention that it charges your phone as well?
Oh yeah, the other thing, the good thing about plugging the phone in is it's the best quality, and of course it's sending out a 2.1 amp signal. So you see we've got the charge indicator up there, so it's charging Sophie's phone, because Sophie's phone is at 1% 99% of the time somehow, despite it being charged a lot. So that's really handy. Anything you want to say about it?
No.
Okay. The only problem with using the FM is when you first turn it on. It's on at the moment. Sophie, if you can please turn that off. And then let's turn it back on. What we get is about 15 odd seconds of static whilst this boots back up and everything sort of comes back on again. And then the radio tuner comes on, it's fine. Obviously, if you use this cable to connect it to your audio system, you'll be okay, but if you use the tuner, just be aware of that. And the good thing about this is, if you're in an area where, you know, you're a bit worried about it being stolen or something, then you can easily take it out. It just lifts up off the stand and comes straight off, and then you can put it in the glove box or put it in your bag or whatever and take it with you. I did notice this thing had support for playing video, so I stuck a video on the SD card, and when I tried to play it, it said that it's illegal to view a video while driving or operating. Set parking brake to view video. It certainly is illegal, but there was nothing to say the parking brake is set. Now if you use AirPlay, you don't have a problem and you can view the video either way. I did reach out to Carpuride about why the SD card said it needs to handbrake, but I didn't get a response as yet. Well then, summing up, and I apologise for the noise behind, I decided to print something out this morning which I thought would be about a 4-hour print, and it's been 4.5 hours and it's 43% done, so that's just going to have to be there. And the reason I'm stuck for time is this is the first day since installing it nearly a week ago that I've been able to steal this back from Sophie's car, because she won't let it go, she loves it. And the reason being is she sits in the car, she puts her Spotify playlist on, she drives around, and if I call her up, she can answer basically. So it's become a necessity for her to have this instantly. Of course, it's not going to suit all cars. As I said, for like older cars, especially if you've got a sort of older teenager that's just learnt to drive, you're probably not going to get them a car with a great big console screen on the front which has all the bells and whistles. So something like this is going to get them into their music, and as long as it's got a half decent speaker, it's going to be able to pump out the music from the phone quite nicely and charge their phone at the same time, which is quite useful. All you need is that 12-volt input. Now there are a couple of features I didn't really touch on. One is USB. If you've got a USB stick, you can just plug it in there, a bit like using the SD card. The other is the reversing camera. That's because I wanted to show this as like a 5-minute install, but as soon as you talk about reversing camera, it's a bit more complicated. You'd basically stick the input from the camera in there, so that's going to be basically video in along with ground. And how the camera's powered, you would wire it into your reversing light. So that's a little bit more involved than anything else. Of course, you'd have to mount it in a proper place. Carpuride do their own camera for this, but you can cobble it together. And the sort of FPV cameras I have come from this sort of background. In fact, some of them actually have the menu to put the reversing lines in. So you can do that, but that's a little bit more than just like plopping it down and easy to go. And that's about it. They do a range of these sort of things. So if you think a 7-inch screen is a bit small, then there's like a 9-inch, possibly some other ones. But I think for sort of your little starter car, that sort of size is about right. Obviously, what I didn't want it to do is take away from, you know, her driving and looking at the road, and that seems absolutely fine. If she wants to put a track on, it's a pretty easy touch of the screen, you know, as much as pressing the forward button on the CD player or changing the radio station, so that's not too bad. This review item was kindly supplied by Carpuride, so many thanks to them. And of course you can find links to this and their other stuff down below, and if you're in the market for one. Anyway, I hope that review's been helpful, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Well, you've made it to the end of the video, so thanks once again for watching. If you like what you saw, then please consider subscribing, and if you really like what you saw, then be sure to check out the link to my blog for a variety of ways in which you can help support this channel.